Hello, I am Fast Lawyer. I am with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play the Frontier Outskirts VR, a game on the Steam store for the HTC Vive. It's by developer Struck9. It normally retails for $9.99. It's currently on sale for 99 cents, and I finally decided to pull the trigger on this game and buy it at the 99 cents sale price. Now, this game has a mostly negative review score, 11 total reviews, and that's probably because this game is not very good, so I'm not going to rate it at the normal price. And I know this game normally was on sale for $5 before. I'm not going to even rate it at that price. The question I'm asking today, is the game worth 99 cents? And I think the answer is yes, but just barely. There are some fun elements to this game, but it's pretty bad in several aspects. So you have to be okay with all the negative things about this game and just accept it for what it is. It's dumb arcade fun in VR. Some of the graphics look okay. I won't say they look great, but you know, for a 2017 game, it looks alright in VR. And it's pretty cool to have a lightsaber and use the force. There's a force power. You can use this as a lightsaber to kind of blast enemies away. And you can also pick up objects with your lightsaber. Unfortunately, you can't really use it because it's not really feasible, especially during the campaign. So the only time I found a use for it was during the tutorial where you learn about these skills and you're like, okay, this is cool. And then you play the game and you can't really use them. There is full locomotion, so you can move north, south, east, west. However, there is no smooth turning or snap turning. You have to turn in real life. There's also teleportation if you prefer that. I found the controls to be clunky. They're not smooth at all. The guns, I noticed some issues as well. It seemed like my gun, especially the automatic rifle, didn't always shoot on command. It seemed like sometimes I would press the trigger and bullets would come out. Other times I would press the trigger and nothing would happen. And it's not about the gun overheating, because I understand that happens. Like if you shoot a lot, your gun will overheat and you have to wait for it to cool down before you can shoot again. That's not that. I mean, when you're just barely starting out and try to pull the trigger, sometimes bullets come out, sometimes they don't. And I don't know why. I only noticed that issue with the automatic machine gun.
It's an old jungle. So, our actual task is
I wish you could use the lightsaber more in the campaign, but I didn't find any part where I could really use the lightsaber unless you're just on a one-on-one battle, because usually you're up against several enemies and they're shooting at you, so you can't really use the lightsaber. You have to mow them down with your gun. And I found the easiest way to do that is to get behind cover or have a large distance between them and shoot them, then get behind cover and then do the same thing. Shoot them from a distance or behind cover. Kill as many as you can. If you start losing health, get back, get behind cover, rinse and repeat. That's really the best and only strategy for this game. So you're carrying a lightsaber, but it's pretty useless. I rarely ever used it. Sometimes I was able to jump in and lightsaber and kill a few, but that was rare because usually there's several around, not just one group. I like this map the best. I think there's 4 different maps for ground levels. So there's 4 ground levels and 3 air levels. I did find the ground levels were okay fun, but the air levels were really bad. I think this was the best of the ground levels because it did kind of remind me of Star Wars Battlefront. And obviously we don't have Star Wars Battlefront in VR. So this is probably as close as you're going to get, unfortunately, if you're interested in that. The map area is kind of small. It might look huge at first when you look around, but once you start exploring, you find out that it's really not that big. And there's not much strategy. Like I said, you're basically just shooting enemies behind cover or at huge distance, clear them out, go on to the next part. If you start losing health, get behind cover, you know, get some distance, rinse and repeat. Pretty much do the same thing with all maps. On the last map, it's pretty dark and it's raining, so I found it pretty difficult. That was the only map that I had trouble with, was the last one. But it's the same strategy regardless. You're just more cautious on the last map, where this one you can take a couple more risks. You can jump into enemies and try to use your lightsaber if you survive. Then you get on the turrets and it's pretty much game over for the enemies at that point. So I found this to be the most boring part of the campaign, getting behind the turrets. And your weapon never overheats, you never run out of bullets. You just constantly hold down trigger and just shoot them. So I don't think the graphics are great, but I think they were good for 2017. But I did notice several issues, optimization issues, frame rate drops. I noticed a little bit of warping. There's long loading screens as well. So beware of that. Again, I didn't find the gunplays to be realistic or all that fun. It's mostly just the coolness of being able to jump really high and pretend you can use a lightsaber. That's really the most fun part of this game, unfortunately. I did also notice some clipping issues, and I don't know, there's just an overall clunkiness to the gameplay. There's no story, so don't expect a story. Like I said, there's 7 levels, so there's basically 7 missions. 4 of them are ground, 3 of them are air. And while the grounds, I think, are worse 99 cents, the air ones are terrible. And with matchmaking, like I said, the online matchmaking, it's not very good. There's nobody online to PvP with, so you're basically going to be solo if you don't have a friend to play with, and you probably need a big group of friends in order to have an enjoyable online PvP match. So good luck with that if you buy this game for that reason. I would say online multiplayer is dead, and there's no reason to play it. If you play solo, you're just gonna be moving around an empty map that has invisible barriers to it. And I don't know if there is more than that one map I showed early in the video. Now here you can destroy some of the trees with your turret, but the animations are pretty poor. It doesn't look realistic. And I noticed some pop-in issues during this part with the trees popping in and out. And I also noticed some clipping. After this ground battle, I do show some of the air. The air missions or the space missions, I guess, are pretty awful. Probably the worst space missions I've ever played in VR. I don't recommend you waste your time playing them. The controls are awful, the graphics are terrible, and the gameplay is pretty stupid. So it gets worse from here. The foreground missions, I think, are worse than 99 cents, but I wouldn't waste my time playing the space missions. Honestly, they're really bad. And it seems like it was something that was thrown in. I would like to see more ground missions and maybe a story, a fuller story, and just forget the space missions that were pretty awful. So we're headed here to a loading screen. As you can see, I completed the mission, and I'm getting coins. But all I see is darkness. I don't see any coins or anything. It's just a black screen, and I hear the noise of the coins, and that's it. And then you get thrown to main menu. Now you do spend those coins to upgrade your lightsaber and your weapon. And here are the space missions again. This is pretty awful. I don't recommend it. I'll let you watch the video and decide for yourself whether you think you're interested in playing the space missions. But I say nah, don't even waste your time. Anyways, I think this game is worth 99 cents, but just barely. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's pretty bad, but it's for 99 cents. I didn't expect much, and I think I got at least an hour worth of okay entertainment. I'm Fast Lawyer. I am with Oculus Rift Reviews. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.